Hey guys, it's Chris Bate with Cheat the Game coming back at you. Today we're going to continue on with the Ori series. I haven't had that much time to be able to sit down in the game like I'd wanted to. But what we're going to do today is look for one-hit kills. And reason being that I'm doing this, I wanted to get something out for you, and so I can sit down with it more a little bit later after the vid and see if I can find some more good things. But I just ain't really had that much time. I want to thank everybody who's donated. You guys have helped me out so much. I really do appreciate it. It really helps keep Cheat the Game going. It helps me to come out with these vids. I know everybody's having a hard time and struggling right now, and I really appreciate you guys helping me out too. I really do. But what I want to do is I got to throw a little element of back tracing in here to find where it's subtracting at. So we know that the enemies are not going through shared opcodes, and we do need do a little back tracing to locate the subtraction in theirs. And it's a skill that you want to keep fresh. I always recommend doing that whenever you can. It's a great skill, and you need to use it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and bring everything up, and we'll go ahead and get started. Hey guys, thanks for holding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera back off in just a second. A couple of things I needed to go over. If you remember our God mode that we had found in the previous vid, if you have not seen that vid, you need to go back and rewatch and you'll be caught up to date. But there was also a charging mechanism. Some enemies will charge at you, and when it hits you in that charge, when they charge at you, that goes down a different call structure. So I had to locate that spot in memory, and I did it the exact same way that we found this one. So keep that in mind, that if you to have a full God mode so far, is that you'll need to go put the debugger or the break and trace on the routing opcode again, and then you just stand there, and while the enemy's charging at you, eventually it'll hit you, and you want to get that break and trace information, which goes down a different structure, and just modify it the same exact way we did the first one. So if you don't know how to do that, go back and look at the past video I did 2 videos ago, I believe, and you'll see how we did that, and you'll have a more functioning God mode. And that's the thing with any game. That's why you need to play the game all the way through before you come out with your trainer, because you don't know what you might need to modify later. So and that's what we do. And also infinite jumps. As you remember, we had 3 different areas of memory that we had to augment, and I combined all 3 scripts. I just want to show you how I did that right quick. Is changing the labels. Just change them to a different. I just put code A, return A, code B, return B, new mem A, new mem B, things like that. Make sure that your labels are changed in your scripts, and then just copy and paste over. Anywhere you're jumping to, they need to be changed as well. And also your symbols and Alex space and all that stuff, if you're using symbols, need to be changed accordingly. But once you do that, if you put them in the same script, they all have to have their own unique name. That's why. So I combined all 3 scripts where we can just have infinite jumps all the way across the screen. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. What I'm going to do is go find an enemy that we can look up the enemy health on. So we need to look up one where you don't necessarily get killed in 2 hits. I need to find like a stronger enemy. So let me do that. Once I get to one, I'll be right back with you. Okay, thanks for holding, guys. I'm at an enemy now, and what I've noticed that sometimes when he's charging at me, I'm still being hit, like we talked about earlier. So I may have to find another place in memory. It may be per enemy. So that's what we're going to do, as well as look up his health value. So we're going to try to knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. So let's go ahead and put the debugger on our health. Okay, you see how I got hit there? Well, my God mode's off. Let me turn my God mode back on, because I don't want to get it confused. But it's also doing it sometimes when I got my God mode on, which means it's going down a different call structure. So first off, I want to go ahead and put a break and trace on that routing opcode and see if we can find that call structure. So I'm just going to stand here for a minute, see if he hits me any. He was hitting me like crazy a minute ago. You see when he charges, but there's a certain charge he does that still hits me. That's what I'm trying to see if I can find. I think it's that charge right there. Okay, I don't think that's working. I may just have to do it off camera, because he was hitting me like crazy a second ago. So Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We know his health is probably already up, but normally I recommend going ahead and hitting him. But I don't know how many times I get before I can do that. I'm going to leave my break and trace up. And let's do a new scan. I'm sorry. Unknown initial value. And if we get hit in the process, it'll give us our trace information on top of it. So we're basically doing two things at once here. So we need to refine our God mode again. Okay, let's go ahead and hit him. Alright, so we took some damage. He took some damage. So we want to decrease value. And from here on out, I'm going to be using my hotkeys, okay? But I always recommend using hotkeys when you can. This may take a minute or two, so I may just go ahead and cut in between the searching period just to save a little time. Alrighty. So we got about 3 million results. We got simple values only check mark. Sometimes if you're having trouble finding a float value and you know you're in the right areas, uncheck mark that as well, because I ran into that in another game, and you have to uncheck that to find it, so be careful with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and what we need to do is just do a bunch of unchanged values for a bit. We can only hit him a few times before he dies, so we do not want him to die. We got to start all over again. We'll go to the pause menu. Just do all different kind of things, hitting unchanged values. Weed out as much as possible. Just do different things. Alright, so hit him again. And decrease value. Now I'm using my hotkeys. Unchanged, unchanged. Unchanged. We're down about 10,000. Okay, we still got plenty of hits to go, so we're down about 2,000. So decrease value, down about 412. Go back to the pause menu, down about 412. Let's see if we can get him down one more. Okay, good. I do not want to hit him again. Okay, we just got hit again. I don't know if it got our trace information. It did not. So I'm going to have to take a look at that later. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'll just go back and take a look at it. May make another vid on it, so who knows. I did not mean to kill him, damn it. So, shit. Alright, let me go find another one right quick, and what I'm going to do is get back to that very spot again without taping me killing him or going down this, and we'll just pick up where we left off. I'll be right back. Okay, while searching for an enemy, I ran into something interesting. To show you different type of enemies, could be going down different type call structures. So you see we have our God mode on, and what I did is went ahead and turned my health address off, or the current health off, and take a look. When we hit this little energy beam right here, boom, one hit killed. We were one hit killed. So we definitely want to find that and add that to our God mode as well. As you can see, it's on right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find out what accesses the address. It could be taking place in a totally different part of memory. We don't know. And let's just get killed again and see what pops up. You saw that writes to it when we hit it. So let's go to that part in memory. And right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and put my break and trace on there. I'll make sure that all three of these are check marked. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Alright, go back to the game. Let's get killed again and get our break information. Very good. Let's give it a minute. Computer's running a little slow right now. Alright, so it's spanned all. And you can see this is where it wrote to our health when we hit there. So let's see. As you can see, RAX is sending a 0 directly to it, no matter what we were. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go to, I've already done this, so I'm just going to bypass some time, and I'm going to come down here. And what I did is I go to each one and just knock out the call. So I'm going to come down to here. and pick up where I left off, and you can see the collars right above it. We do see that there's a jump apical that goes over the call. We can try that. Just change it from a conditional jump to an unconditional jump by putting it, it's JMP instead of JE, which means jump apical. Alright, now let's hit the energy beam again. Okay, well, we can see we didn't die, but it's still having some kind of graphical glitch. So let's go ahead and put that back. Like I say, sometimes you find stuff by accident, don't even mean to. So that's what it's all about. You just got to go in there and play around, see what happens. Let's go to the next one down. And this is going back up the call structure of when we hit that energy beam. Is there anything jumping over it? Don't look like it. Let's snap out the call. Replace with code does nothing. Alright, well, we don't have, well, we still got somewhat of a graphical glitch. There we go. Let's get back out of it, but we're not dying. So that's a possibility, but let's see if we can make it any better. Let's get back out of it. Alright. Let's go up a little more. And we may have to deal with that graphical glitch. I mean, who knows? So let's restore. We may just have to live with it. So let's go down to the next call. What we're doing, we're following this line all the way down to where it ends as a long one. Ends right here, and here's the next one. And right above it's another call. So let's knock out that call. And the game is frozen, so we may just have to deal with it. Okay, so yeah, that completely freezes the game, so we're definitely going to have to go back down a little bit. We could possibly try one more just for the heck of it, but it'll probably just freeze our game. Let's replace with code does nothing. We just want to make sure, yeah, it needs to go down that call structure, so we have gone down too far. Alright, so yeah, we might have to just deal with that graphical glitch in our so we're going to have to go back up, and this is where we're going to have to modify it. We may be able to put a return in that function instead of just knocking out the call. That may, I don't know, it may freeze the game. It may need this information. But let's do this. Let's select current function. It'll take us to the top right here. Let's copy this, and we'll just put RET right here. But yes, and it freezes us. So yeah, it definitely needs that information. So let's go ahead, and it froze the game, or logged us out of the game. But that's fine. We know exactly where we need to be, so we can get to this point again, no problem. And we know exactly where we need to knock out our call. So that's process of elimination, and we will have to put up with that graphical glitch, but it won't one hit kill us anymore. So let me bring everything back up, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so now we know that knocking out that call is definitely the best route to go. So let's go back to it. It takes us to it in memory. Let's just recheck it one more time, make sure nothing happens that is bad, and we'll just have to put up with a graphical glitch. He kind of rides away, but you see we don't die, so if we just kind of hit the jump button, we can get out of it, grab stuff we need, but we're not dying, so that's good. So that's the best route to take for that one, and let's store that with original code, and let's go ahead and add that to our God mode right quick. I'll just show you how to do that. I'll also show you how to combine scripts, which is a good thing, so it's a good thing we run into that. And we're just going to put God mode 3, and what we do is we change all our labels. I'm going to put C, and then C, 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 and anything, the labels themselves, anything it's jumping to, make sure you change all that accordingly. Return C and new mem, and we want to save it to the current cheat table to make sure we don't have any mistakes in it. So save that, and we don't. That's good, so we don't really need it. If it didn't save, it'll say we had a label address wrong. We're just checking that. Turn off our God mode, and what we're going to do is go paste that in our God mode script. This is how I do it right here. Just do one at a time. Then our labels. Well, I could have done a direct byte manipulation. I didn't do a direct byte manipulation, but it don't matter. I can just use the script itself. It don't matter. We just allocated info for that. I might go back later and just do it as a direct byte, but I'm going to show you that how to combine the script. So I'm just going to do it this way. Okay. I just like keeping things a little more organized. You don't have to do this, but I recommend it. Make sure we have our dealloc. We click OK. We can get rid of that script. Now when we turn our God mode on, it'll modify those 3 places in memory. Take a look. So we should... Nope, it didn't work. I might have to do a direct byte manipulation. Yep. Yeah, let's do a direct byte manipulation. Well, that's good. We found that out. So, no harm, no foul. We can just change everything accordingly. Let's just take out the alloc. We'll take out the new memc. And take this out. Take out the return. Jump to new mem, and we can take out the dealloc. Let's just put our symbol up here. Take out the labels. We don't need the labels. And let's see how many bytes we need to knock out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knops. We can also see it here. We need it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So define byte 90 1 2 3 4 5. Alright, and that seemed to work, so let's put that back and see if it just knops it out here now. Take it out, make sure it restores it. It does. Now let's go test it. There we go. Okay, so this is one specific area you can't really alloc space. We may have to push flags to do that, but I didn't do it. It's better just to do the direct byte manipulation. So now we improved our God mode a little bit. So that's good. I just ran into that while I was looking for an enemy. I thought I'd show you right quick. Okay, I found a new enemy. It did seem to have more health than the previous enemy had, so I'm going to try out some values right quick. And that's the only one I really found was at 12, and that looks about right. So... yeah, and I did the exact same thing I did in the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that up pretty high, about 50, freeze it, and let's go back in the game. I'm getting real close to killing him, so I need to be careful. Okay, it looks like his health did go back up, because it was really down. That looks like it to be it, and it is. Good. Yeah, he had a little more health, so he's probably the better enemy to do. So let's take that out. Now we have enemy health, so we just find enemy's riding location, all the information associated with it, like normal. And what we're not really looking for a place that's reading. We want to find the subtraction, and then the subtraction is only occurring when we hit him. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Boom. And this is everything that popped up when we hit him, and you can see these are real close in memory. XMM6 is writing the new value. We can take a look at what's happening in the XMM registers, and we can see that's putting in the whole new value. XMM2 may be how much damage we're doing. Who knows? I don't know. So there's lots of ways you can do one-hit kills. You can modify how strong you are, or you can modify enemies, and we're just modifying enemies' health. We're just doing the easier route right now. Alright, so let's go to that part in memory, take a look at it, see what's going on around it. And as you can see, it's got a bunch of compares going on around it, but we don't really see any type of subtraction. And the way we know is we take a look at what's going on with XMM6 all the way up. to see what is putting that value in XMM6. Can't really see much of anything. Looks like it's being used. So that's when we start going back into calls. But what I normally do is I'll go up maybe to the top of the function, which is right here. You see, because it's right by the return. And what I do is I'll just go put a break on it. If it's constantly reading and writing, we're going to go take a look at the XMM6 register. And what we want to do is go take a look at that XMM6 register. Here's our break information for when that occurred. I just hit him. And you can see the XMM6 register does not have that information in there. So we know that the information gets placed in that somewhere down here, possibly in a call. So that's what we're just doing, the process of elimination, finding where XMM6 got that information. Looks like XMM1 is putting that value into there if we go back to it. Because if you take a look here, here's 46. Here it does not have the information, and we see this right here. It's moving that value, that 46, into XMM6 right here. So we know that it's occurring right here. So now we need to backtrace. We still don't see any subtraction occurring on that. It's just the XMM1 register giving that information to it. So we're going to have to go back and see if we can find that subtraction. I'm going to leave this up for the time being. And let's make sure we run the game. Okay. And what I'm going to do is right here where XMM1 is putting that information in there, I'm going to put a break and trace on it right there. See if we can find where XMM1 is getting that information. So let's go back to the game. Resume. Let's hit him. Boom. And we get our break information. And you can see it's going through a lot. So let's expand all. And all we're doing is following that XMM1 register. We can always check it by hitting the float. And we want to see where it's getting that information. So we're just going to go to the next call structure on up and take a look at what's going on with it. Alright, so we double click on it. It brings us to that next call. And we're looking for XMM1. If you take a look right here, it looks like it's getting its information from XMM2. So this is definitely where subtraction is occurring. So that's really the best place we can do it. Is we found where it's being subtracted at. We can put a break on it. And if it's constantly reading it, then, you know, we'll have to do a condition. And I did hit him, so that's good. So it's not constantly reading it. And if you take a look, it looks like it's subtracting this amount, this 4, from this amount, which is 50. So that's where it's getting that new information right here. So we can do it several ways. We can modify what XMM2 is subtracting. We can subtract XMM1 from itself. Or we can possibly just zero out XMM1. But what I do is I have XMM1 just bring a 0 to XMM6, which eventually writes to enemy health. And we know that it's only going to bring that information when he takes damage. So that's good. Let's go ahead and run the game again. And that's why it's good to, you know, practice your tracing skills a little bit, know what's going on with the coding. So we know that he'll only die in one hit when we actually hit him. He won't just appear on the screen dead or anything like that. So let's do a AOB injection. I'm just going to call it one hit. So we can do it one of two ways. We can have XMM1 subtract itself, which will make it a 0. It'll make it a 0. Or we can XOR XMM1. XOR PS, XORPS is how you do that for XMM. As long as we get a 0 into XMM1, it will have a one-hit kill. You can do it either way. It's going to do the exact same thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it sub itself. It's going to subtract. It's going to subtract its current from its current and put a 0 in there. Alright, so let's assign that to the current cheat table. And we're going to test it, and then we're going to take that back off. And we're going to call that one hit kill test. I'm just going to put it up here for the time being. Just go ahead and click it on. Go back to the game. Let's see if we can hit him now. Boom. Dead. Take a look at that. Okay, here's some more enemies. Let's see if we can kill them one hit. Take a look. Dead. One hit. So it looks like we got a good, effective one-hit kill script. So we can get our enemies out of the way. You might want to test it with boss characters. Sometimes you need to be careful one hit in case that boss isn't really supposed to die, but we can deal with that when we get to it. We just need to take a look at some flags and everything. Looks like we can jump even higher. That would have been another way we could have found a jump height as well. So all kind of things we can do. But I think I've already been here before because I did start over. I think that's where I was here last time. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. And we got two good things. We were able to modify our God mode, and we were able to find one-hit kills. And we were able to practice our backtracing skills in doing so. So we got some good flavors in there. So I really hope this helped you guys out. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign on off. I want to thank you all so much for coming out, supporting Cheat the Game, watching the vids, placing likes on it. Really helps me out a lot. All of you that donate and give to Patreon or to our PayPal, it's really much appreciated. You guys have really helped me out. It's been really tough being out of work due to the COVID-19 quarantine. I want you all to stay safe, and just know that you're in my thoughts, you're in my prayers. I love each and every one of you, and I want you and your families to please stay safe. Stay home, hack some games, have a blast, and hopefully we can all get back to work soon and get life back to normal again. But just know I'm thinking about each of you. Thank you so much. But I'm going to continue on just messing around with this game, and hopefully we can come out with something later. And we'll probably do some new games later on, but I want to go ahead and finish up this game. I'm really enjoying it, and I just want to show you everything that we go through to hack these games. And it's just a lot of trial and error and just messing around with it. You don't know what you're going to run into, and we might find some cooler things later. But until then, I'm just going to go ahead and sign on off, and we'll catch you on the next vid. You guys take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. You all take care now.